My sister-in-law didn't even notice I walked into the house. Her voice floated from the kitchen, low, secretive, disturbingly calm. "I put something in her soup," she whispered to my husband. "It all ends today." For a second, the world narrowed to a single ringing in my ears. Then I heard my husband respond, barely above a sigh, the kind of man lets out when he believes his problems are finally disappearing. That was the moment everything inside me shifted. "Hi everyone, my name is Marissa, and until that night, I truly believed my husband's family only disliked me. I never imagined they wanted me gone permanently." I didn't make a sound. I didn't step forward or breathe their air. I simply backed out of the doorway, heart pounding but mind strangely clear, as if a curtain had finally lifted. Outside, the cold hit my face like truth. I pulled out my phone and called emergency services. "Ma'am, what's happened?" "Nothing yet," I murmured, "but something will. Please be ready." Then I walked back inside with the calm of someone who had stopped being afraid. I switched the bowls. Mine to his.
His to mine.
Their whispering continued, and in 10 minutes their world would flip. I sat at the table like nothing had happened, hands folded neatly in my lap, the swapped bowls steaming between us. My husband, Ethan, walked in first. He didn't look at me, he rarely did anymore. His sister, Kayla, followed with that satisfied smile she wore whenever she believed she had outsmarted someone. Neither of them noticed the slight shift in the table setting. "Dinner's getting cold," I said softly. Ethan finally glanced at me, startled by my calm. He wasn't used to it. For years, I had absorbed his moods like rain, quiet, apologetic, shrinking whenever Kayla entered the room. They preferred me that way. They didn't know they were meeting a different version of me tonight. Kayla slid into her chair, flipped her hair, and shot me a smug look. "You made soup?
Wow.
Didn't think you'd be home early." Ethan smirked, the same cruel curl of the lip that used to break me. "Yeah, Marissa, you're full of surprises." If only they knew. I lifted my spoon slowly, deliberately, watching as Ethan did the same with the bowl meant for me. My chest tightened, not with fear, but with the realization of how easily they had planned this. Kayla leaned back, waiting. Ethan brought the spoon to his mouth. And that was the moment the front door burst open. The front door flew open so hard it smacked the wall. All three of us jerked in our seats. 2 paramedics rushed in, their radios crackling. "Emergency call for this address," one announced. "Reported possible poisoning." Ethan's spoon froze midair. Kayla's smile vanished instantly. I kept my expression perfectly still. "What the hell?" Ethan snapped, lowering the spoon but not fast enough for my liking. A drop of broth slipped off and hit the tablecloth. Kayla stood so quickly her chair screeched. "Who called? Why are you here? This is ridiculous." "I did," I said quietly. Both of them turned toward me as if I had just spoken in another language. "You," Ethan barked. "Why would you do that?" My eyes drifted, slowly, deliberately, to the bowl in front of him. The one meant for me. The color drained from his face. Kayla tried to recover first. "Oh my God, Marissa, stop being dramatic. It was just soup," I said.
Yes.
I heard. Her mouth snapped shut. One of the paramedics stepped forward. "Ma'am, did someone ingest anything yet?" "Almost," I said calmly. "Please check the bowl in front of my husband." Ethan pushed back from the table, trembling. "Marissa, what did you do?" I looked at him, really looked at him for the first time in years. "What you planned," I whispered. "Just not for me." And the paramedic lifted the bowl. The paramedic lifted the bowl to his nose, inhaled gently, and his expression changed instantly. He set it down with a firmness that made Ethan flinch. "There's a chemical odor," he said. "This isn't food safe. Someone tampered with this." The room went dead silent. Ethan's knees buckled, as if the floor had tilted. Kayla's face twisted, caught between denial and the realization that her plan had just been dragged into the light. "What are you implying?" she demanded, voice cracking. "We didn't. This is insane. She's trying to frame us." The paramedic ignored her completely. Sir, did you prepare this bowl? Ethan couldn't speak. His eyes flicked to Kayla, begging for guidance, but she was already backing away from the table like the evidence might leap at her. I remained seated, hands neatly folded. Check the other bowl, I said softly. They did. This one is normal, the paramedic confirmed. Distinctly different smell. Kayla's composure shattered. It was just a joke, okay? She wasn't supposed to hear anything. Ethan snapped toward her. Kayla, shut up. But it was too late. Both paramedics exchanged a look, one that said the police needed to be informed. Ma'am, one asked me gently, do you feel safe here? For the first time in years, I told the truth. No, I said. Not with them. And that was when Kayla lunged toward me. Kayla's lunge never reached me. One paramedic blocked her, the other stepped between us, and suddenly the kitchen felt like a crime scene, bright lights, sharp voices, truth spilling everywhere. Ethan stood frozen, staring at the bowl like it contained his entire future, spoiled, rotting, collapsing. Marissa, you misunderstood, he stammered, voice trembling. It wasn't serious. We were just talking. Talking about my last meal. Watching him squirm should have satisfied me. It didn't. It just made everything painfully clear. This wasn't the first time they had planned something against me.
Just the first time I caught them.
While the paramedics restrained Kayla and radioed for police backup, I stepped into the dining room, somewhere quiet enough for my thoughts. The betrayal hurt. Not the way I expected. Not like a knife. More like a door closing behind me, locking forever. And on the other side was a woman who no longer begged to be loved by people who wanted her gone. Revenge didn't come to me as rage. It came as clarity. Ethan and Kayla thought I had swapped the bowls because I panicked. They would soon learn I acted because I finally stopped being blind. I picked up my phone, not to call the police. They were already coming. I called someone else. Someone Ethan never expected. And when he answered, his first words were, Marissa, is it time? I stepped into the hallway, closing the kitchen door behind me just enough to muffle Kayla's frantic shouting. The man on the phone, Daniel, waited silently on the other end. Yes, I whispered. It's time. For years, Ethan had believed Daniel was just a family friend. He never knew Daniel was actually the financial attorney I had hired the day Ethan secretly removed my name from our joint accounts and funneled money to Kayla. He never knew I rebuilt everything in my own name, quietly, legally, flawlessly. And he definitely never knew that I had prepared for tonight long before the soup ever simmered. I'm activating the file, I said. Already in motion, Daniel replied. Everything transfers in the next 10 minutes. I hung up and walked back into the kitchen just as the police arrived. Kayla was screaming accusations, Ethan was sweating through his shirt, and the officers were separating everyone. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? An officer asked gently. I want the truth recorded, I said. All of it. Kayla snarled. You won't win anything. But right then Ethan's phone buzzed. He glanced at the screen, then again. Harder. His face drained to gray. What is this? He whispered. Because every account, every asset, every property he thought he controlled was no longer his. And I stood there watching his world collapse. Ethan staggered back against the counter, staring at his phone as if it were melting in his hand. Marissa, everything's gone, he whispered. Every account, every investment, even the house, my house. It was never yours, I said calmly. Legally, it reverted to me the moment you removed my name without consent. Daniel just finalized the transfer. Kayla's eyes widened in horror. What do you mean finalized? Ethan, what is she talking about? But Ethan wasn't listening. He was scrolling, sweating, breathing like someone drowning without water. The officers had paused too, the weight of the unraveling mess settling into the room. You planned to poison me, I continued, while living off the money I earned, the house I bought, the life I maintained. I just reclaimed what's mine. Ethan's voice cracked. Marissa, please, you don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. You wanted me gone. Now you get to live as if I already am. Kayla lunged again, but an officer caught her midair. "Ma'am, that's enough. You're both coming with us." As they were led toward the door, Ethan turned back, panic rising in his throat. "Marissa, wait. Please. Don't do this. I have nothing now." I stepped forward, looking him dead in the eyes. "Then you finally know how I felt." And at that, Ethan's shoulders collapsed. They led Ethan and Kayla out the door, Kayla thrashing, Ethan hollow and shaking. The flashing red-blue lights painted the walls as the officers read them their rights. The neighbors had gathered outside, whispering, watching the siblings who once strutted with arrogance now stumble under the weight of their own choices. I stood in the doorway, not triumphant, but steady. As the officers shut the car doors, Ethan caught my eyes through the window. There was no anger left in him, no pride, no excuses, just the realization that I had survived him and everything he tried to take from me. Inside, the paramedics finished their reports. One paused before leaving. "You handled this with incredible clarity," he said softly. "Most people freeze." "I froze for years," I replied. "Tonight, I thawed." When the house finally quieted, I sat at the same table where they had planned my ending. The bowls still sat there, one poisoned, one clean. A perfect metaphor for the life I was choosing now. My phone buzzed. Daniel again. "It's done," he said. "Everything is yours. Completely." I closed my eyes, letting the truth settle into my bones. Freedom wasn't loud. It wasn't fireworks or revenge speeches. It was silence, clean, full, and finally mine. I whispered one final thing into the empty room. "Goodbye, Ethan." And for the first time in years, I meant it.